I like to experiment. I like to I like to see what will work. We're going to learn about that doesn't look that good. That's more like anyway. That was worth a try, I suppose. Well, it's a candle. I thought I was gonna. Now it says you're live. You're live. I guess I'm gonna get a haircut today. It won't be anything drastic. Just a trim. I am Maximus Decimus Meridius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. I am Elmer J. Fudd, millionaire. I own a mansion and a yacht. I am Elmer J. Fudd, millionaire. I own a mansion and a yacht. That's a good mantra. An affirmation. Spirit magic helmet. Spirit magic helmet. I'm going to keep doing these. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. What I'm noticing is the universe will show you evidence of things not seen. And you need to master the law of correspondence. So within, so without. You get what you want if you have it already within. If you have it already within, it will be without. So within, so without. So think about what you want, and then you have to hang on, because like a rose, okay, you go up to a rose bush and you cut off the rose, it's going to live for a while. It's going to live for a little while. I'm using that analogy because the rose is going to live for a while. You need to give it time to die. So if you're seeing more of the same in your reality, you have to give it time to die. If you're seeing more of the same, stop believing what you used to believe. Because if you believe you're poor, if you think you're poor, the universe is going to show you evidence. It's me again. Hi. Welcome. So where was I? Yes, evidence. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So you're going to get evidence of things not seen. The thing not seen is your thought, your original thought. So within, so without. So whatever is going on, sorry I kept missing, that's all right. I think that's fate. I don't think that has anything to do with intention. Faith and intention doesn't always seem to jive. Because you can have every intention of showing up to my live, but fate would have other plans. You had I'm getting distracted from, oh, of course you did. You had school. Too much school. That might be on, yeah, too much school. I think we all suffer from too much school. Too much school. I didn't like school. I liked more the Christmas vacations, the holidays. I liked when I didn't have to go to school. You took naps when I got, well, good for you. Naps are good for you. So how old are you? I forgot how old you are. That's how I can relate to people by how old they are. You know, you're skipping school tomorrow? Oh, you're 9. Okay. So you're skipping school. You're in the third grade. I remember when I was in the. I remember the fourth grade. I remember, and then it's all a blur. Everything else is just a blur. I think I'm going to start teaching classes. Somebody had a dream that I was teaching a class, and they were attending the class. So maybe that's the oxymoron. I don't like school, but I like to teach because it just, yeah, review day. Yeah. So you're going to deliberately skip school. I don't know. I think once we learn how to master reality, we'll be better off. That's what they need to start teaching in schools, how to master reality. I take naps on review day. So you're 9 years old. So I guess when you become a teenager, you start to take naps because your body is adjusting. It's going through all the changes from from being a kid to adult. How about Texas? Taxes? How about taxes? I think taxes are for the lazy, the people who don't work. They're those people who collect taxes. No taxation without representation. That used to be the thing. No taxation without representation. I want to know where my taxes are going. If somebody is taking money from me that I worked for, I want that money to go to good use. Like health care and healthy people. If we had healthy people, we wouldn't need health care. We need more healthy people. Why don't we have more healthy people? Why are we feeding the people things that are not healthy? Why do things exist that are not healthy? They say cigarettes are bad for you, yet they exist. Alcohol is bad for you, but yet it exists. These paradoxes. I just love paradoxes. Like sugar. Sugar is bad for you, but it exists. Why is it on the shelves? Why are they selling it to us if it's bad for us? Are you going? I'm doing okay. Why does it sound like I'm not okay? I think I'm trying to figure things out. I'm trying to figure things out. Because we wonder why we have more of the same. And it has a lot to do with the evidence of things not seen. We have a lot of evidence of things not seen. What's going on in our brain, in our mind, we're getting evidence of what's going on in our mind. So if you think you're poor, you're going to start seeing evidence of being poor. No, it's just nice to check. Okay, yeah, once in a while, just to see how well they're doing, because we're social creatures. It gives me hope when I see people are hopeful. You know, like hope, faith, hope, and love. It gives me hope when I see people are doing better. I feel hopeful when people are feeling better. Because that's our progression. Hello and welcome. We're back. Everything was going fine until I hooked the charger up. I think I'm figuring this out, this reality. We're living a reality, but we don't know how to master it. We're living reality, good, bad, or ugly, and we need to know how to master reality. Want to hear a story about my? You know what? Are you able to make videos? What you could do is make a video of that. Make a video of your the story about that, because that's what I think. That's what I think we need is stories, because sometimes we can learn from stories. A lot of mythology is based on stories. You know, the story of Shiva, the story of Zeus. Nah, that's just mean. It's just mean. Making a video of your story? How can that be mean? I want to start telling stories. I was kind of rude. Oh, okay, you're kind of rude. Well, at least you're aware of that. If you're aware of your actions, you can kind of change things. I always got mad at her. What for? Because she was being her? Was that what was causing you to be mad? Or was it her actions? Her actions that made you mad? Maybe you like her. Do you like her? Because sometimes we feel more passionate about people we like. She wasn't really grateful. Oh, okay. Yeah. Not being grateful. Ungrateful. Being grateful gets you a long way in the universe. She friended one of my enemies. Oh, isn't that how it works? My enemy is my friend. She friended one of your enemies. Wow. I said I was a prank. You said it was a prank. Oh, are we are we engaging in confusion? Are we yeah, that's hard to take sometimes. When a friend of yours fraternizes with the enemy, you wonder what are the motives there? What are there? So Ryan, did you just pop in to say hi? I think that's what it was. He just popped in to say hi. And I said hi, so that's polite. You no longer, oh, really? You're no longer a friend? Huh. Well, sometimes you got to make decisions like that. You got to make business decisions. Well, that's good. That way you're not confused. Confusion is not, oh, you're no longer a friend with her. Well, I smell bacon right now. My mother got up and she cooked some bacon. She likes things like that. Things that aren't good for her, she likes. Everything that's not good for my mom, she likes. I caught her eating circus peanuts. She was eating, which is just sugar and food coloring. She seems to really like things that are not good for her. But isn't that the story? My dad is cooking chicken and sabao. What's sabao? Is that a side dish? Because you have the main course. I guess our main course is usually meat and potato. Oh, soup. Sorry. So chicken and soup. Chicken and soup. Chicken soup. You can. Anyway. Oh, you're from the Philippines. Okay. I'm getting a lot of people from Asia. Asia and India and Germany and, just far off places. Some people from Turkey, they're from the Turkish, the Ottoman Empire. I don't know if the Ottoman Empire isn't still around. I heard a lot from one of my Turkish friends about the Ottoman Empire. Philippines. I am in America. I am in Georgia. Georgia, America. I guess that's how you can say it. One of the United States. I hope Canada is able to stay Canada. We need Canada. We need there needs to be a Canada, and I don't know why we got to seize land. Things have been going well, you know. If we could just stop having wars, I think it'll get better. If we could have just a designated war area, have a designated area where people can have all the wars they want, just don't mess with us. It's so hot. It is? Here it's cold. It's like 20 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Fahrenheit, sometimes 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Snow. We're getting snow in Georgia. You're lucky you have. Well, snow can have its problems. Snow causes causes the roads to turn to ice, and you can't drive well on ice. Yeah. Heat, it's hard because you're always hot when you go, and it's harder to cool down when it's hot. I've heard it described like that. When it's cold, you can warm up, but when it's hot, it's harder to cool down. Unless you have a good HVA system, HVAC, or a good air conditioner. It's funny about an air conditioner, and it sucks in hot air from the outside, and it turns it into cool air. Yeah, yeah, because you just huddle around the fire. You can huddle around the fire, or hopefully your heater's working. Turn on the heater and just warm yourself up. Hopefully there's no cold drafts. You can use. Yeah, you can put on a sweater or a heavy coat or a nice hat. Put on a nice hat. I always like that. Whenever I'm going out somewhere, if I put a hat on, I'm a lot warmer. Especially one that covers my ears also. I look like I just woke up because I did. So that's what I want to do. I want to start teaching classes. I'm going to have to do that because I want to show the importance of meditating. I want to show the importance of hypnosis and show the importance. Hello, Rodolfo. Welcome. Now I just need to find some students. I need to find some pupils. I need to look around for pupils. I'll look around for pupils and say, "Hey, you want to learn how to fix your reality?" Once I accidentally ordered a hat on your phone. Why did you retract your message? You retracted your okay. I'm not going to let that bother me. Faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So once we define faith and know how to work with faith, I think our reality will be a lot better. Oh, by accident. Okay, you're retracted by accident. Because what's funny about the universe, it shows you evidence of what you believe. And I keep going back to that. Like if you believe you're poor, if you believe you're not smart enough, the universe is going to show you evidence of that. So you need to let the old evidence go and start changing your beliefs, which is not going to happen right away. You accidentally ordered a hat on my mom's phone. Oh, yeah? So that was funny. Confirm bias. Confirmation bias. Yeah. Confirmation bias. Situation unknown. I want to put my tender heart in a blender, watch it spin round to a beautiful oblivion. Rendezvous, then I'm through with you. I gotta go. Okay, well, you enjoy. Try to stay cool. Try to stay hydrated. Bye, Eddie. I'm your favorite YouTuber. All right. You should read the book or watch the movie. I have, and it is interesting how cause and effect. That's one of the other Hermetic principles, cause and effect. Because we are causing our own calamity. We're, we're causing our own problems. Hope you reach. I know, I'd like to at least get 2,000 subscribers. People call me their favorite YouTuber. I need people to tell more people. I need word of mouth to take effect. Start telling people, hey, there's this guy who talks about anything. Just ask him. And if he doesn't know, he'll go on to the next subject. He plays flute, almost. He almost plays flute. He has a bell and a whistle. I have bells and whistles. So anyways, is everybody in a good mood today? There we go. Always two toots. Two toots. Isn't that what they call when you do cocaine? They call it a toot. Should I be talking about that on a family show? No. A toot of the booger sugar. They call it the booger sugar. Well, I could talk about the dangers of drugs. I was watching an episode of Emergency. This girl had died because she OD'd. I forget which drug it was. But you know what? That's what you get sometimes when you experiment. You're playing, you're gambling with your life when you start experimenting with the illicit drugs. Even prescribed drugs are dangerous. They wreak havoc on your liver. I feel pain in my liver every now and again. Your liver rejuvenates, but still, there's those times when your liver is struggling to do what it does. Why do they give us drugs that harm our liver? So they can, again, it's profit. It's all profiteering. Nobody regulates how much you charge for rent. Remember Hoovervilles? Look up Hoovervilles. When Herbert Hoover was president, there were so many homeless people. They called those homeless areas Hoovervilles. And I'm seeing a lot more Hoovervilles under certain governments. Why is that? It seems like the needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many. Remember Mr. Spock? We got it backwards. We have it backwards. The needs of the few. Mansions that cost millions of dollars. Why do you need that when people have to live in a tiny house? And then they're outlawing tiny houses. What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? I should have episodes called What's Up With That? A lot of businesses are closing down. I see mostly gas stations. There are so many gas stations. And for a while there was car washes. There's a gas station, I don't know what the problem is. It's on our way to church. There's a gas station that's going up. And it's not in use yet. It's not open. It's not, people aren't going there to pump gas. It's just basically they tore down some trees, they leveled the land, and they put uh, a gas station there. It's kind of like a service station, snack shop kind of thing. Because people have to stop and get gas and they also want to eat something. And it's all junk food. None of it's good for you. It's just something to keep you going, I guess, until you get home to cook a proper meal. I've noticed I'm not, anyways, I need to not focus on how few viewers I have. Because Neville Goddard was talking about how when you cut the head off of a chicken, it's alive for a little while. And you just have to wait for that chicken to fully expire. So what you're seeing is evidence of what you don't want. And you need to divert your thought energy towards what you do want while what is old expires. So we have to be patient when we're changing our reality. When we're changing our reality, we have to be patient. Let what we've already created die and then start focusing on what we do want. Because it can get scary when you start seeing more of the same, when you really need a change. You got to make a change, yeah. When you want a change to happen, you got to be careful because your subconscious will start showing you evidence of what you've been believing the whole time. So you have to kind of ignore those evidence and focus on your new evidence. Does that sound crazy? Because that's why we think we're stuck. We think we're stuck in this reality because we're focusing our attention on what we don't want, and the universe keeps showing us evidence, which increases our faith. It increases our faith in what will go wrong. And that's what we need to stop. Those old habits die hard. Like if you're trying to quit smoking and you still feel those cravings for a cigarette or a beer or, you know, your old habits, they die hard, but you just have to be patient. I guess my mom's watching a dog movie. She loves dog movies, horse movies. Because she has a really good sound system, and I can hear what she's watching on TV. So how is everybody? Am I doing all the talking here? The mind is such a powerful thing, and it can be harmful if you're not careful. Like when you want healing, okay? You want healing, yet you feel pain. You have to wait a while for that pain to subside. Or whatever, if you're sick and you want to be well, you have to really focus on being well. Hold on, we have to wait for this. This is my pharmacy. This is my phone. Waiting to go to voicemail. I'm waiting for it to go to voicemail. We'll just enjoy the music for now. So anyways, there we go. Now my voicemail will pick up. If I answer the call, the screen goes black, and I don't want that to happen. Thank you for coming back, those of you who came back. Not a lot of people have time anymore. They only have time to say hi, and I understand that. We'll have to make appointments. That's what we could do. Make appointments. So if you have 15 or 20 minutes, or if, say, you just got off work, you're cooking dinner or whatever, you've had dinner and now you just want to watch something, you could just interact with me for a while. I don't know. But the world doesn't revolve around me. I'm just saying, if you got spare time and you want to chat, you can do that. What's the what's the purpose of Tic Tacs anymore? Tic Tacs used to freshen your breath. Now I think they're just pandering. They're pandering. They're making all these different kinds of Tic Tacs, you know, that don't freshen your breath. They just have a flavor. It's like a habit food, you know. Look at this. There's a reason for this little rib here. It's so that you can get. Whoops, sorry. If you can shake it. There we go. It's so it will dispense one Tic Tac. I learned that. You probably already knew that, but yeah. What's the purpose behind the Tic Tac anymore? Is it just to give you a burst of flavor? Because it used to freshen your breath. And I repeat myself, because that's the way my mind is wired. Tic Tac. So in an hour, I will eat breakfast, because I have to wait. Oh wait, I have to hit my... I've noticed the benefits of deep meditation. I really feel better. Like if I'm having a panic attack, or if I feel anxiety, or if I just have a lot of questions, and I go into meditation, I start to become aware of my subconscious. And that's what's 95% of what you do is subconscious. So yeah, we got a lot of learning to do about the subconscious mind. We got a lot of learning to do, a lot of book learning, a lot of experimentation. I don't think anybody fully understands the subconscious mind. You can actually give your subconscious mind a suggestion. Like I have an unhealthy addiction to oxygen. Yes, I like that. That should be a T-shirt. I have an unhealthy addiction to oxygen, and I have a BS tolerance. I have a zero tolerance for BS and lying. Why do we lie? This world could evolve so much faster if people would quit lying. Quit lying. You are already manifesting. There's all these videos about manifesting and how to manifest. We're already doing it. We do it naturally. We manifest. Here's an example. I was wondering how I was going to start a fire, okay? I was in the woods, in a park area. I said, if I really needed to start a fire, how could I do that? What's the use of the truth if you can't tell a lie? Yeah, you have to sift through the lies. What's the use of the truth if you can't tell a lie? Yeah. But that's what makes us crazy and what really stuns growth. Lies can stun growth. Like people have been lying to us for centuries. We think we have to ask God. You know what Spirit told me one time? Asking implies that you don't have. And I thought, wow, that makes a lot of sense. If you ask, you're implying that you don't have it. And then there you are. You have to wait for someone's approval. And that's what religion revolves around. You have to have God's approval. You already have God's approval. God is already like, hey, let's do this. Let's create something. Because that's what the Creator does. The Creator creates. And that's what it's doing all the time. Or it's a both. They think God is male or female, but the Creator is beyond what we can comprehend. He's unknowable. So here we are, we have finite bodies, finite minds, and we're trying to figure out what God is. You ask for forgiveness. Yeah, that's right. It is better to ask forgiveness than permission. That's right. And if we thought that way, it's amazing how we're so conditioned. we're so conditioned to think, okay, I want it, but I can't have it unless I can gain approval or favor. Do you have? If you want to start a fire, okay, back to the fire. Okay, I was in I was in the woods, right? And I was saying, I just started thinking, how can I start a fire? And then I found a lighter. I found a little white lighter on the floor, on the pine or leaves, just laying there. It's like, and it's like God saying, here, there you go. You need a fire. There's a lighter. The lighter was not empty either. It was a full lighter. So is that a coincidence or is that a manifestation of something I was thinking about? It's like we're in a hologram or holodeck. Remember on Star Trek, the holodeck? You know, you ever watch, another example is, what was that movie? Cabin in the Woods. You ever go to watch Cabin in the Woods? How there are people controlling the environment, controlling what happens in the environment. It's kind of like that. You know, there are greater powers watching us, and then we start to think about things, and then they manifest. I'm wondering if we're just manifesting our every meal. Like we want to eat, so we just manifest what we want to eat. When we pick up our fork and start eating, we're manifesting every bite. And then the trick is not to limit ourselves. There are people who eat in five-star restaurants, and then there are people who just eat at home. They open up cans of food, you know, and that's what we believe. We believe that we have to go to the cupboard and open up a can or make ourselves a sandwich. And then there are people who believe that, hey, somebody's going to make me a sandwich and bring it to me. So yeah, there's our possibilities. So within, so without. I learned that in the Kabbalion. It talks about if we master these seven principles, if we understand these seven principles, we will rule the all. Like the first one, the all is mind, the universe is mental. And the second one is as above, so below, the law of correspondence. Go make me a sandwich. That's right, we need, could you go make me a sandwich? You know what? And that's, if it's the law of expectation too. Oh no, a law of assumption, which is powerful. It can work for you and against you. The law of assumption. Because if you assume that you're poor, if you assume that you can't pay your bills, it's powerful, that assumption, law of assumption. So it's like, I assume that I'm going to get $3,000 in my bank account. And then disregard every other assumption. That's a Neville Goddard thing, the law of assumption. I've been really studying all these different teachers. Abraham Hicks, Neville Goddard, um, Joe Dispenza. They virtually say the same thing. Like, we got to wake up and realize we're already doing it. We're just not doing what we want to do. It's all a matter of the channel you turn on, the direction you take. One direction. Have one direction. Just head towards what you want. Disregard everything else. Because if you pay attention to your lack, the universe is going to start showing you evidence of your lack. And that's weird because we need a confirmation. And then we start getting our confirmation. There's your confirmation. I've been noticing miracles are happening, but we're muffling our miracles. It's a miracle that I have money in my bank account right now. It's a miracle. But I think my doubts are what muffle my miracle. Stop muffling your miracle. Stop it. And self-talk. That's another thing Neville Goddard talks about, self-talk. What do we say to ourselves? How do we talk to ourselves? Don't say I am sick. Don't say I am poor, because then you start to believe it, and then your evidence starts to show up. We should stop calling it manifestation and start calling it evidence. You're already manifesting. You're just getting evidence of things not seen. You're getting more evidence of things not seen. What's not seen is your thoughts. I have conversations back and forth with. Yes! Isn't that interesting? Where are these thoughts coming from? Like math. They say math proves God, because where does math come from? So we are working with what's unseen. That's what the ancient, Vudan. Vudan means unseen forces. And then Vudan became voodoo because of the French magicians started interacting with the Haitian Vudan, and they basically use mandalas. You know, they're called veves, and they draw up these veves, and it triggers something in their psyche. It triggers something in their subconscious mind. They do rituals, you know, to change reality. And when you look at goetic magic, they're using veves, or they call them sigils. So something about what we look at affects our subconscious. Like, like for example, this is Michael the Archangel. This is his sigil of Michael the Archangel. And we look at a sigil, and it affects us somehow. And sigil means signature. So each entity, I guess, has a signature. So it's like, wow, we're working with magic here. Why are people so interested in disproving magic or debunking? The cause and effect. When we're having a dream, a lucid dream, or a vivid dream, is our awareness going to that reality? Because it's definitely a reality. There's definitely something to that. When, yeah. We're working with powers and we don't understand them fully. Our minds, the power, and our minds are weaponized against us. For example, lack. We're all taught about lack. Oh, if you need money, you got to get a loan, or you got to work real hard to get money. But you know what flies in the face of that is the lottery, or an inheritance, or so you didn't have to. They didn't have to work for that money, but they got it. So it's almost like there are ways around reality. We're taught all our lives, yeah, get a job, make that $4.20 an hour, make that $50, keep working really hard and maybe you'll get a raise, maybe you'll get it's the harder working people that get punished. Have you noticed that in the workplace? The people who show up, who don't complain, who those are the people who aren't employed for a long time. Or they work really hard and they're not getting rewarded. They don't get rewards. The hardworking people, the people who really do a good job. Um, so, anyways, yeah, I'm ranting. I like to rant because it's my nature. My nature to lament. I've got to lament. But hey, I like hearing that. I changed my message signal. It sounds like a fairy wand. Because the other one was a cup of ice, and that got annoying after a while, hearing ice go into a cup. This is like, you just go, ding! Are we having fun yet in Eddie's Fun House? This is like a fun house of the mind. Relax into it. I like that phrase. Relax into it. Abraham Hicks uses that. Just relax into it. Hello, Charlotte. Well, we're starting to show some evolution. We need to evolve as a species. We need to evolve mentally. That law of mentalism, I think there's a reason it's the first principle. The first Hermetic principle is the law of mentalism. Because everything, the definition of the law of mentalism is the all is mind. The universe is mental. Everything is a result of a thought. Everything you hold in your hand, everything you experience, love, hate, um, psychic abilities, it's all the mind. We exist in the mind of the all. So it's like we share responsibility. What are you thinking about all day? What's crazy about the subconscious mind is it believes everything. It believes that you're sick. It believes that you're limited. And so it shows you evidence of being sick or limited. And religion doesn't help either. Religion tells us that there's bugger all down here on earth. Remember that universe song, Monty Python? There's bugger all down here on earth. We're taught these things that alter that's why we get diseases. That's why we suffer depression. Because we're trying, and we're struggling. We don't need to struggle. We don't need to try. Just like Yoda says, uh, that can't be worse. Living with war in their country never asked. Yeah, they never asked for it. So, is that coming from the outside? Hold on, I got to ask my mom to turn down the TV. Mom, can you turn down the TV? It reverberates. See, she's hard of hearing. She needs hearing aids. And I don't think her hearing aids are working right now. So I'm trying to be calm, I'm trying to do a live here. Mom, I'm trying to do a live. But you know what? That's another thing that we don't have control over, it seems. Our financial ability, is it financially, because yes, my mom needs help, and I'm here with her because she needs help. But another thing is, I can't hire somebody to watch over her while I'm gone. I would love to be able to do that. Just go into the park, watch the birds, get my mind off of everything, watch the squirrels, and the government has. I've noticed that. George Carlin was alluding to that. We're just basically, we're there for the government's benefit, which is a tyranny. They call it a tyranny. When the people fear the government, it's a tyranny. When the government fears the people, it's a government. We give away so much power because we don't want responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. And I think that's our problem. We give away because we don't want to be responsible for our own well-being, our own actions. We just want to get mad at the government. So we give away all of our power. There are programs that will help your mom. I've noticed that. And you know what? We were given a website. if you have no money, your worth goes down. Your worth goes down to the rich people. Yeah. It's funny how you can Google people and ask how much are they worth? How much is this person worth? If somebody were to Google me, what would they find? How much are you worth? Oh, this guy's worth $88 million, dollars, or this girl's worth $50 million. Dollars. And all she does is sing songs. She's done a few movies. She has some merchandise. Again, I think it's all about what we believe. I'm hearing that more and more. What do you believe? Do you believe that you're poor? How does anybody become rich? Because I worked really hard. I worked really hard every day. Why am I not rich? I'm focused. I always am trying to figure out a new way to do something better, to make my life better, but I stay the same. So what is it? What's the difference between me and someone who just does a haktua, you know, or or says another phrase? All they have to do is say a phrase. None, none of that is accurate. None of that is accurate. What do you mean none of it's accurate? Hello, Mikey D. Mike D. I'm open because you know what? I don't know everything. I can speak with such confidence, but where is my confidence? Where does it lie? Where does my confidence lie? In my experiences? What I actually believe reality is? And I think that's what it is. Just enjoy the ride. For the most part, this reality that we experience, you just enjoy the ride because things can go either way. Thoughts on gold dust? You keep asking me that. I think gold dust is gorgeous. Does she need validation? Does gold dust need gold dust itself? You can melt gold from dust into coins, into gold bars. Every time there's always a new discovery. She needs a Valentine. Well, I'll be that Valentine. I'm wearing my red shirt. That symbolizes Valentine. It's going to be Valentine's Day, right? February? Next month, right? They already have out the Valentine stuff. So we have a total of 4 people. I think I'm going to go easy on myself today as far as breakfast. Had my usual breakfast. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, I think that's what we could do is compare notes. See if we could poke holes in each other's theories or find the holes. We can look for the holes in our theories. Thoughts on David Rish not being? Yeah, what's up with that? Maybe it's just not the time. Some people are a little late. They have to first realize that the show has started. I think that's what we need to do. We need to question things. Everyone's on autopilot or just doesn't care anymore. They just want their video games. They want their Starbucks. That's what my stock market prediction would be. Invest in Starbucks and video games. Morning time. That's right. Morning time with Eddie's Funhouse. Whatever the hell this is. There's no real reason or rhyme to Eddie's Funhouse. It could go anywhere. There's not just one direction here. As long as we're having fun, you know what? It's about vibration. Or nighttime with Eddie. That's right. No matter any time of day. I could be your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's us. It's not the government. It's not our doctors. Our doctors can only do so much. Like when you have cancer, they can only do so much. When you have mental illness, the answer is always pills. Have you noticed that? Whenever you're having a catastrophe, whenever you're having a breakdown, the answer is always take this pill, go down to the pharmacy, get this pill, take this pill, and then because I don't think they know everything either. There's only as long as money is being made, because they have responsibility to their stockholders, their investors. If they're not producing results, then they don't get funding anymore. That's why I think there's prisons. People are always funding prisons. Prisons don't really help. Some people are innocent and they spend time in prison. It takes a long time to get them exonerated. It takes them a long time to get set free. And then what's their compensation? They don't get any compensation that I know of. Somebody spends 16 years in prison and they find out they weren't guilty in the first place. I'd say you're going to have to compensate me. I spent 16 years of my life in a prison dealing with prison conditions. I wonder how many have mental illness and think they are prophets. Yes. How many people believe them? Because again, the universe confirms. If you believe someone's a prophet, the universe will start to give you evidence that they're a prophet. I've noticed that with psychic abilities, you get confirmation from the universe. If you really believe something, you start to see evidence of what you believe. Like there are people who say, give 10% of your income and God will bless you. Give 10% of your income and God will bless you. And give a little more. That's called an offering. It's an yeah. They're all, isn't that interesting? People who, like serial killers, they're very convincing. Edmund Kipper is a good example. Edmund Kipper, the police that he was befriending at the bar thought he was kidding when he said he was killing people. They thought he was joking. Hold on, I gotta ask. I'll be right. Wayne Gary. Wayne Gracie. Yeah, that girl who shot. Isn't it interesting? She was able to kill her mother, but not her father. She was able to. She had all the time in the world. When he walked in, she could have been patient. I don't, it's weird. It's weird that her father survived. They had such a good relationship with each other. And then her history, she had a history of mental illness. I didn't follow it too closely, but it left a lot of questions. Did he use his daughter to kill his wife? That's what makes me think, huh, did, you know, because it seemed orchestrated. It's like, okay, she comes home from school, she gets a pistol that should have been hidden away from someone who has a mental illness, that should have been taken away from the environment. So you put these ingredients together, a girl with mental illness, a firearm, a nosy mom who finds her finds her marijuana and confronts her about it. So she kills her mother. You know, it just this perfect storm. I don't know if that's a definition of a perfect storm, but it leaves a lot of questions. Yeah. You know what? Attention-seeking behavior. I've noticed when my mom wants me to come and talk to her, she'll turn up the TV. I think that's what it is. Maybe I need to hug her more. I hug my mom once every night, What I can do is a trade. Well, no, she'll do it even more. If I say, Mom, if I give you a hug, will you turn down the TV? You know, I've been noticing that. I will go into my room just to vegetate, just to clear my mind and get free from everything. Suddenly the TV will go up, and it'll go up more. It'll go up more until I say, Mom, can you turn down the TV? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I put it on 15. But sometimes each channel has their own volume. Each channel, some are very loud and some are not. So it doesn't matter if it's on 15. It's going to be loud. She thinks it's across the board. Okay, now, it's amazing how my mind, my ADHD, or my attention deficit, I guess, it'll go to the first thing I'm thinking about. So, yeah. Is everyone having fun? I don't want this to be all about me. Everyone here, are we thinking of things to talk about? Things to ponder? Like that thinking statue? There's a Mandela effect about that thinking statue. Is he doing this or is he doing this? Or it was interesting. I've seen, I guess, different images. You're having lots of fun. Okay, well that's good. The Barons. Oh, there's a video of a guy going into a room. He has the Berenstain Bears. He has the book, right? And he walks into a room and it goes from Berenstain Bears to Berenstain Bears. Right there on the video. I have it, but you have to scroll down quite a bit. Because it was the first video until I started adding other videos. I got so many cool videos on my my community page. Cool videos like portholes and dancing dogs. Remember to turn down the TV. Yeah, could you turn down the TV? I think she heard me. Because now it's not as loud. Because I say, Mom, I'm going to do a live. Okay. Sometimes she's asked me, are you going to do a live yet? I notice I'll talk to her while she's watching a show. And she'll start saying, yeah, okay. Because she wants me to shut up so she can watch her show. So I leave her alone to watch her shows. But then again, she misses the company. So that's when the TV starts going up. I wish I had my mom here. You know what? That is hard to deal with. Hello! So someone says, hey, KP76. It's like, I would give the word to see her. I know, it's hard to deal with the passing of a loved one. Even pets. There's a black cat that came around. I got a question. What is your question, KP76? I like a simple one like that. Like Mike D. That's a simple handle. It's easy to say. What is your question? How old are you? That's usually the first question. I am 56 years old. People say I look like I'm in my 40s. But I hate saying that. I think people, deep down, they know that if they ask me my age, it lowers my vibration. I don't want to give out my birth date, but you can probably figure out my birth date. If you know I'm 56 years old, you could do the math. What audience do you want on YouTube? Whoever likes talking, you know, because there's so many different subjects that we can bring up. It's mostly that chemistry, that synergy, you know, that the kind of audience that keeps coming back, you know, for whatever reason. They just want me to say hi to them or talk about how we don't really understand everything. We can have fun trying. We can have fun trying to understand. Like God, there's so much about God that we think we understand. And when we think we understand, I notice you post younger styles of videos. Um, you know what? I don't really pay attention to. Hold on. That's gonna have to go to voicemail too. I'm sorry. I'm getting calls, and it seems to be during my lives. It appeals to younger kids more. Hold on. If I turn the phone on, the screen will go black. Okay, there we go. You know what? I always thought that I had my own demographic because when I look at my analytics, it says that everybody is 18 and older. But then when I talk to people, they say, I'm 9, I'm 11, I'm 12. And I don't know why that is. It's like, because I think I'm 56 years old, so I think I appeal to the 56-year-old, the 24-year-old, the 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds, because that's what I assume. But it's weird how so many children like my videos. They like them or they comment on them, and I never was able to figure that out. It's weird how I think I'm talking to somebody my age or just maybe a couple of years younger, but then I get kids commenting on my videos, and I love you too. See this guy Mike D. He's I just do not. You are promoting sexual story, having kids being. See, that is age restricted. So I've age restricted. Yeah, so the kids, that's why this is a family show. We're not supposed to talk about that on the family show. That's all age restricted. And I think I went over this already. I came from that video. You came from that video? So anyways, YouTube requires that I age restrict. And I age restrict. And I'm up to YouTube guidelines. I'm with YouTube guidelines. Yeah, so age restricting. That's why I have the family show, which is right now. We don't talk about that on the family show. Because again, YouTube guidelines say that I have to age restrict. Sometimes even my jokes, I have to age restrict them because yeah. So that way, it's interesting that why don't they just have a channel for kids and a channel for 18 and older? But it's up to us to regulate who sees what. I was just, yeah, it is concerning because it's like I'm a 56-year-old guy. I'm making videos that I think are appealing to my own age or, in that age range, in that demographic. But then I start getting, so then YouTube says just age restrict. They do, it is called, yeah, YouTube Kids. So why are we getting the kids? If there's YouTube Kids, why am I getting all the kids? And some of them are just, jokes that I've heard. Some of them are dad jokes. Some of them are just like, what movie is this from? And it's just weird that I come on here and I think that I'm talking to people my age or around my age. And then I get kids commenting on the videos. So yeah, I think that's how we protect them is by kids borrow their. Yes, they do. I get that a lot. They come on here and they say, I'm on my mom's phone. And we have conversations, or, yeah. How do you really, well, I'm doing the best I can. I got 18 and older. You can actually go in the settings and say this video is for 18 and older, and they have to they have to confirm that they're 18 or older. So I went through this a couple of months ago, a few months ago. I was really getting a lot of flack. Just be aware. I know, be aware. And also, um, when people ask questions like your questions, it's like, wow, this guy is doing some things that are not age appropriate. Yeah, I am aware. Yeah, I know. Like Jack Black, okay? He does Kung Fu Panda, and he also does Tenacious D, and a lot of stars, or a lot of people, they do things for kids, and then they go do things for adults. But I guess it's the time and the place, you know. Sometimes you got to tread lightly when you're going into both worlds. I have nieces and nephews, and I interact with them, and you know what? Try to set an example. And then it's like when I see kids, I think of my nieces and nephews, how they're learning, they're curious, and sometimes you just want to stimulate their, whatever they're, because like my nephew likes Roblox. What was another one? Minecraft, Transformers, and they need somebody to talk to them about things like that. And they do. They more than we want to realize, they do look at adults. They look at us, and when they look at us, they say, "What's your opinion? What do you think about this?" And we can help them learn more. Um, Somebody's birthday today. I got a little ting. I've always wondered why I'm doing this, because there's that's pushing me, some kind of unseen, like a little nudge to just come on here and start talking to people. But then, yeah, I'm interested to see what this turns out to be. What will this turn out to be? Will I start to get more resources? Be able to go on vacation? Yeah. He is aware. Who's here? It looks like there's only a one person, which means there could be two. The man. We need more people. We need more people coming to Eddie's Funhouse. Maybe that's what I'll stop focusing on. My lack. Don't focus on the lack, because you just get more lack. You'll start seeing evidence. And make no mistake about it, you will see that evidence. Yeah, there's something going on that's a lot smarter than we are. The higher intelligence. Because again, we're created beings. We are created beings, and we're trying to understand our creator, and I don't think we're doing a good job. Why is the thumbnail a kid crossing? Oh, I guess it's just, yeah, because this is a family. This is family oriented, and people always make fun of that sign, "Slow children at play." Yeah, slow children at play, and maybe we could be careful, because the kids. Be careful because of the kids. We need to be aware that there are kids in the room. I think that's what. It's funny. Every time the whole time I was growing up, people said, "Oh, slow children at play," when they're telling you slow children at play. It's all in how you say the phrase. Benny Hill used to make fun of that too. I suggest you change those two. Why? I'm always like, I don't know everything. Some things need, try not to read too much in, because we are here to have fun. It gives people the misconception of you that I have a sense of humor, or that I'm, because I'm from the 90s, the 80s. We had a different sense of humor. Nowadays, humor has changed quite a bit. So I guess maybe I'm reaching out to people of my age group. People of my age group would get that joke. And for example, how old are you? People know how old I am. I can ask how old they are, you know. Because I think millennials, they have a different look, a different take on life, a different take on a lot of things. Because again, it's now 25 years into this new century. The turn of the century happened 2020, in 2020. So I was in the previous century. So we have a different mindset, a different way of thinking, a different humor. And then the turn of the century happened at 2020. And there's a lot of changes that have happened. Like you can watch, you're 17. Okay. That explains a lot. Because again, when I was 17, I had a whole different outlook, a whole different view on life in general. And a lot of movies that were made during my time wouldn't fly now. Like Blazing Saddles, you know, there were so many movies that were made during my time that people would not be able to do now. They would not be able to make those movies now. Certain scenes in the movies that were okay back then. You didn't explain the masks. Well, these are these are just masks that it's art. You know, have you ever been to an art show where a lot of different expressions of talent, and it also captures the imagination. Whenever you go to an art show, or even the circus, you know, or a fair, Disneyland, you know, Six Flags, Universal Studios, they have costumes, they have people playing parts, and I guess it inspires the imagination. You just start to imagine, you know, when you go to Mardi Gras, when you go to carnivals, or even the Renaissance Fair. You know, Renaissance Fair is a good example. Everyone's wearing their masks, dressing up in their period clothing, and it inspires the imagination. It's like, what was it like in the Renaissance, you know, during that time? Even movies are like that. You watch a movie and you see, like, Star Trek, Star Wars, anything having to do with fantasy. It's, or Labyrinth. You ever seen the movie Labyrinth with David Bowie? They have masks, they have goblins. It just, the imagination, I think, needs more attention. We need to imagine more. That's what Einstein said. Imagination is more important than knowledge. And he said if you want smart children, read them fairy tales. If you want even smarter children, read them more fairy tales. And it's like, yeah, we need that. We need to go, okay, we're thinking outside of what we think is normal. We're experimenting with flying carpets, you know, genies and lamps. I think we need more of that. Because then again, you know, your reality, suspend disbelief. If we did that more, what would happen if we just suspend disbelief? Would we be less depressed? Would we be less anxious? If we knew we could just wave a wand or rub a lamp and get a result, something that's beyond our understanding, that's what a miracle is. A miracle is beyond our understanding. We attribute it to something divine. In the Bible, there's miracles, you know. In Harry Potter, there's all this stuff happening that defies our understanding. Steps moving, you know, flying brooms. I think that's what it is. We need more of that. We need to just stop focusing on what limits us and then start focusing on what sets us free. Is that what Jesus said? You know, the truth shall make you free. I'm going to have to write down how he worded it. He said that when you know the truth, it will upset you when you find the truth, but then you will rule the all. It's amazing what's been kept from us. Things that we should know that we don't know. The lies we've been told, the things we think. Again, if you believe something, you start to see evidence of it. They make us believe that we are a bunch of sinners, that we're a bunch of just evil, corrupt people who are prone to uh, ill-gotten gain. But then when you look at people, they're just trying to figure out. You didn't? Oh, I did. They're just trying to figure out what's going on here. How come when I ask for something, I don't get it? Is it because I don't believe I'll get it? Because that's the law of assumption. You assume that you're not going to get it if you ask for it. And that's exactly what happens. It's a law of assumption on its head. That's why living in the wish fulfilled, living in the end, it's like you're bypassing all the what ifs, the why nots. Isn't that the first thing we're confronted with in our mind? If I say, I want to be a millionaire, you start going through the what ifs and the why nots, and it shuts off your manifestation. Did you take your meds? I did. And you know what? It's time for me to eat now. I took my meds. They're not psychological or, that psychiatric meds. They're my heart medication. I have to take meds for my heart so my heart works. You know what? Just between me and you, my medications that I'm supposed to have for my heart, I haven't been able to get because my insurance won't cover it. My insurance won't cover it unless the doctor says that I'm supposed to have it. And it makes me laugh because if the doctor prescribes you something, aren't you supposed to have it? If the doctor prescribes you certain medications, aren't you supposed to have it? My insurance company, you shouldn't have to explain. I know, but I do. I don't know. I guess because I'm on trial. My brother thinks that way, or used to, all my life. I've always had to explain myself to my brother like I'm on trial. Like I'm, okay, Mr. Culver, are you guilty? Are you guilty of these accusations? You know? And then I think it's a mechanism. It's a defense mechanism when I feel I'm attacked in that way. My brother used to always do this. My middle brother, he used to always, I always had to explain myself. Why do you do this? Or you're doing this. What's your justification for doing this? You know, why aren't you doing this? Why don't you have this job making this amount of money? and I had to explain myself to my younger brother. It's like the gall. He calls me his bigger brother. He's only 1 year younger than me. And he refers to me as his older brother or his big brother. He's only 1 year older than me. But he feels that I need to explain my actions, my situation. I have to explain it all. Eddie explains it all. It's weird what your brain does without you even realizing it. You don't even realize that you've been programmed. That's what my teacher said. My, my hypnosis teacher, he was saying, we're not broken. We're just running programs. We're programmed to justify ourselves. We're programmed to fail. We're programmed to fail, most of us. We try really hard. We earn that PhD or we earn that associate's degree, and then we start working at a fast food restaurant. You know, there's something wrong with that. There are people like me. I've gone to college. I went to a college of business, and then I found myself working as a maintenance guy. I was working as a maintenance guy, and I took investigative techniques, a class on investigative techniques. That's a horrible way to look at it. Yeah. And I'm not an investigator. I found that the job that will take you, sometimes your job finds you. You don't find your job finds you. Because you need a job. And that job says, okay, when can you start? You know, I apply for, before that I was working at Kmart. I was working at Kmart as a cashier. And then I go from Kmart to being a maintenance guy. The maintenance guy job paid more. That's why I took it. It paid more. I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know I'd be going into apartments. I believe God gave us an opportunity to live a joyful life and the and to be able to love others. Yes, to spread the gospel. Yes. And I think that's what our focus, if you stay on your focus, the Bible has a talking donkey. Yeah. So does Shrek. Shrek has a talking has a talking donkey. But I think it's the heart. It's matters of the heart. Like Christ, what did Christ tell us to do? Are we doing what he told us to do? Forgive each other our trespasses. You know, um, love each other as he loved us. Are we doing that? People profess to be Christians. They profess to be Christians. They show up to church. They pray. They sing hymns. But what are they doing really? What are they really doing when they leave the church to go home, to go to their laptop? What are they doing? That's the real show of how you believe. It's the doers of the law that shall be saved, not the hearers. A lot of people hear the law, they know the law forwards and backwards, but there's ways around it. There's loopholes. There's how much can I get away with so that I can put more money in my bank account. That's where people sin. That's right. They look for those, they justify. What's horrible is when they justify their sinning. How do you oh, I was tired that day. Oh, I was frustrated that day. Or I was really scared, that's the worst kind of sin is the justified sin. We justify tax collecting. We justify sending people to war, to get blown up, to get maimed. And we really don't need to. If you really look at it, we really didn't need to. but we did anyway because there's money to be made. Let's face it, there's our politics that we can impose, make people afraid of us. There's so many countries that don't go to war. Switzerland, I keep thinking about Switzerland. A lot of other countries that are very small and they're like vacation destinations. They don't go to war, but they're still a country. Are you a Christian? I was raised Christian, but I see so many flaws in how people receive Christianity, how they receive Christianity. You know, they're told, love your neighbor as yourself, and then I watch them behave in a different way. They're told, forgive men their trespasses. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And then I watch them not forgive. Love your neighbor as yourself, and I see them not loving their neighbor. You know, it's like I follow the teachings, and I believe most of those flaws because, yep. Or is it because of human nature? We all are fearful sometimes. We all doubt sometimes, but that's human nature. It's our nature. It's what we do by nature. We feel fearful. We feel confused. We feel resentful. But that's all us being human. And why are we punishing people for being human? We're punishing people because they get upset, because they want to hide from the truth, because they're fearful of it. I don't know. When you figure it out, let me know. Because we do need to love each other. We do need to treat each other like we would treat Jesus. Would you connect with God and confess? I think we're aware of our sins. We are aware of our sins. What do we do now? What do we do now that we're aware of the fact that we sin? Do we continue sinning? Do we make efforts to improve our behavior, our outlook? Because that's the whole, it's being washed, constantly washing, constantly staying clean. Because we have to keep, it's like a treatment for sin. Yeah, it's our nature. It's our nature to see something and want it. It's our nature to retaliate. Because if someone wrongs us, it's in our nature to get revenge. But then again, if we get revenge, we're only fostering our own destruction and the destruction of others. You can't stop sitting. Yep, we can't stop sitting. But we can choose. He that knoweth to do good, but does it not, to him it is sin. So if you know you're supposed to do good and you don't do it, that's what makes it sin. He that knoweth to do good, but does it not, to him it is sin. Well, here's the paradox. Know ye not that you are the temple of God, and the Spirit of God dwells within you? So we have God dwelling within us. So that's the presence of God, okay? The presence of God. And if we have the presence of God within us, I think people need to memorize that. Know ye not that you are the temple of God, and the Spirit of God dwells within you? So don't forget that. Whenever you feel fearful, whenever you feel upset, or or that you don't know what to do next, Just repeat that. You're the temple of God. The Spirit of God dwells within you. I think that's why Jesus said, when you do it unto the least of these, or as you've done it unto the least of these, you've done it unto me. So we need to behave ourselves, treat people like you would treat Jesus, because God is within them. If God is within you, God is within them too. So you're treating God in the way he should be treated, with dignity, with respect and love. And then God starts to see that, and we're no longer sinning. Yeah, we're no longer sinning. We're fostering each other. We are helping each other. And I think that's what will get us into into a heavenly state. Yeah, he's already here. God is already here because he's dwelling within you. God is like in the present tense. People don't think about God in the present tense. I think that's what we need to do. God is in the present tense. See, yeah, God is taking a physical form. I've always thought of it this way, and it's, if we slow down a little bit and process this information, you know, God is like in the Lord's Prayer, in heaven so on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We can do God's will on earth as it is in heaven. But are we doing that? Are we doing God's work here on earth as it is in heaven? We can bring it down here. Just like they say there's hell on earth, we can have heaven on earth. Like that Belinda Carlisle song. We'll make heaven a place on earth. Rise of competing military power. Yep. Wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places. You know, these people saying that they're Jesus. Jesus warned about that. There will be men saying, I am the Christ. You know. So, my sheep know my voice, and a stranger they will not follow. My sheep know my voice, and a stranger they will not follow. So we can have that assurance that if you hear a false shepherd, yeah, if you hear a false shepherd, you'll know the difference, because if you're truly one of Christ's sheep, it is all, yeah. But we recognize that. You need to recognize the Antichrist, you know, recognize when you see it, the Antichrist, and you won't be deceived by these false prophets, because again, my sheep know my voice, and a stranger they will not follow. And so doesn't that make you feel better, knowing that you won't be deceived by a false prophet, by someone saying, I am the Christ? But then again, you could lose your head. In Revelations, it talks about, and I saw those who lost their lives for the gospel, who were beheaded, you know. So we need to be ready for that, I guess, because they do cut off heads nowadays. So we might be among one of them who have their head removed because of the gospel. John the Baptist, remember what happened to him? His head was removed because of because a girl did a dance. I guess people are benefiting from this. People are, and my sheep, feed my sheep. That's what he said to Peter, feed my sheep. If you love me, feed my sheep. Death shouldn't be scared, should be feared. Yeah, I think that's what it is, that unknown. What happens? What happens? That Are we going to feel a lot of pain? Are we going to feel a lot of anxiety? Some people, when they're about to die, they feel a peace come over them. I've watched this like in executions. People who are about to die, they look extremely relaxed, you know. Probably because they have their eyes on what's going to happen, you know. They're going to, because they fought the good fight, you know, because they actually uh, put on the armor of God, you know, put on the full armor of God, because we wrestle not against flesh and blood. We wrestle against principalities, rulers of darkness in high places. I recommend the King James Version. If you can get a hold of the King James Version, hide it somewhere, because the NIV and all that, there's been some changes made. I remember when I read the Bible as a kid and I listen to the Bible being read now, there's been some changes. There have been changes to the Bible. And it said that you'll be under a curse if you take away from or add to the book of this prophecy. You say all of this, but you said you aren't. I didn't say I wasn't a Christian. I said I was raised a Christian. I was raised, first I was a Baptist, then I was a Pentecostal. So yeah, all of my life, as a youth, as a young adult, can't you tell by what I say? Yeah, can't you tell by what I talk about? I seem to know a lot about this, don't I? Because I was exposed to it. These, yeah, the people who are, there are a lot of people who I think they take out of the Bible what will work for them. They take parts of the Bible out that will work for them, or that get across their point. They forsake the whole other Bible, the rest of the Bible. They forsake the rest of the Bible. A lot of people do that. They will read the Bible to you, the parts that benefit them, and then they disregard all the other stuff, like love your neighbor as yourself, forgive them their trespasses, forgive their debts. The Jews have this thing called, I forgot what they call it, but every 7 years they forgive debts. Every 7 years. I forgot what the words were, but they have this thing, you know, after 7 years, you forgive all the debts. Wouldn't that be nice for America? If if you can't pay off your debts in 7 years, you're free of them. You have more money to take home to your family. We're set up to fail, it seems. We're set up to fail. You work really hard. You need a car. You get a loan to pay for your car, and you pay more because you pay interest for that car. And then you hope you don't get into an accident. Then you hope that you can afford your insurance. All that money that could be going to you and your kids is going to your insurance, and then health insurance. Don't pray to win the lottery. Pray for health. Pray, ask God for health, and thank Him for your health. Thank God for your health. Because if you're not healthy, you're going to pay a lot of money all the time. And it seems it's set up that way. Yeah. Because you can win the lottery, but if you get like a condition suddenly, and you got to get a lot of treatments for that condition, it's going to cost you. big time. And that's what they wait for. They want us to be unhealthy. They want unhealthy people because unhealthy people show up to the hospital. They pay their co-payments. They pay for their medications. That's why they give us unhealthy things to eat. When you go to the grocery store and you see all that stuff that's in cans, go to the produce section. I'm probably going to get in trouble for this. Telling you, I'm like Howard Cosell. You know, he was a sportscaster. He told it like it is. I guess it's time for me to eat now. I gotta eat now. And we'll do this more. Thank you for coming back, all you who come back. We're gonna get through this, damn it. We're gonna get through this. Whatever this is. We're gonna break down all the lies. We're gonna watch them dissolve. Watch the lies dissolve before our eyes. I don't know, if we don't get killed first or shut down. Well, I'm glad you had the patience to listen to my explanation. I come with an explanation. So who's here with us? I see two people. Come out wherever you are. I guess whoever's going to say goodbye, I'll know who was here. I'll take roll call. So we have KP76. We had Charlotte. I'm going to read through the credits. Charlotte was here. That's about it. Yeah. If I go further. All right. Have a great day and keep seeking the truth.